Hello and welcome to my Let's Play / stream of Star Trek Online. This is part 69 of my TOS era tactical officer. We're about to undertake the mission What's Left Behind, which was we're going to investigate the strange device we found on Vaadwaur Prime and maybe find out how the Vaadwaur became so powerful so quickly. So before I do, I need to make sure I've got something on here, which is my. So I'm just going to quickly call the Kobe Yashimaru. I want the bank. I'll get it in the end. Bank, and I need. Four of those. Okay, so it's how get the mission.
Admiral Tuvok and Captain Kim are leading the analysis of the artifact you found on Vaadwaur Prime. I knew you'd want to be there for the great reveal, so I've arranged for you and your crew to be part of the team. Rendezvous with Voyager to get started.
I'm gonna miss you, Commander Burgess.
Hello.
And I hate the fact that I have to go to that planet to get the mission to start. So we're running the now Shadan system. Voyager sends more Tuvok's regards and says he's ready for you as soon as we move into transport range. Understood. Let's meet with Voyager. This is the penultimate mission we're using this ship. So we're using a new ship after this. Ready to transport you to Voyager as soon as you're ready, sir. Let's be moved to Voyager. I'm on an R, and I did have a ship actually lined out, but I've tested it and it's not very good. So I might end up changing it to another ship. Sorry about the pinging in the background. I'll try and turn that off. Really, that turns it off. Transport complete. Sir, Admiral Tuvok has arranged to meet you in the transporter room. He wishes to speak with you to the device regarded from Gaul. Understood, I'll talk to Tuvok. Admiral, sir.
Welcome back to Voyager. We were about to begin studying the device you recovered from Gaul's communication center. Since you have spearheaded much of our efforts here, I would like you to take the lead once again. Captain Kim and 7 of 9 are at your disposal. Talk with them if you need more help deciphering the device. When you finish your analysis, return to me for further orders. I will be here in the transporter room to see you off.
Understood, Admiral. I'll look at the device from engineering. So, you wonder why I called him Admiral, so I'm actually his superior. I'm a fleet admiral, he's a rear admiral. I'm actually his superior. So, she's engineering. Speak to Captain Happy.
Glad you're here. We transported the device to engineering here so we could run all the scans and tests we could think of. The first thing we need to do is determine how it's communicating. We can't find any normal transmissions from it, but we're hoping you have some new ideas to bring to the table.
Agreed. Let's analyze it. I think I can remember the sequence to get it to start. You study the device for a while and realise that it must transmit a signal of some sort. None of the normal detection modes seem to give it any sort of feedback. You decide to investigate some of the more transmission forms. Scan the device for critical radiation. Having some experience with time travel, you hypothesize that the device might be communicating from the future or the past. Scanning the device with crititon radiation, tachyon emissions and other telltale signs of temporal manipulation comes up empty. It's obvious that the device is not used to communicate through time. Scan for the device for subspace fields. The Vaadwaur are self-proclaimed masters of underspace, a form of subspace in the Delta Quadrant. As you hypothesize, the device may have been used to communicate directly to subspace. The scans pick up a faint resonance. The device does appear to be designed to communicate with similar devices located in subspace. Inform Captain Kim of your findings.
The device communicates with subspace. We should have guessed that. Now comes the hard part. We need to access the device's memory core. The engineering team here on Voyager is good, and I've heard your team is top-notch, but it might take more time than we have for either team to make a full analysis. We should have both teams give you their opinions on the device. If we work together, hopefully we can make a breakthrough.
Agreed.
You'll need to set switches on the device until we get solid readings. We'll be able to tell if switches are in the correct position, but not which switches. Good luck.
I'll set the switches and I'll have the team. You'll have the teams tell me when the set's out. I believe this is random, so
the engineering teams tell me 2 of the switches are in the correct mode.
So let's try that one.
Sir, I've consulted with both the engineers here on Voyager and your chief engineer. I am seeing green across the board. All the switches are in the correct position, and we now have access to the primary memory core of the device. Unfortunately, we're only halfway there. Now we need to access the secondary memory core to get full access to the data we need.
I'll access the secondary memory core. Try that on.
Looks like you did it again. All the switches are in the correct position, and we now have full access to the memory core of the device. 7 of 9 should be of assistance in accessing the memory banks of that device. She's in astrometrics, attempting to get a fix on the location of who, or what, is receiving these transmissions.
Excellent, I'll go C7. Now, I do think it's random. Don't quote me on that. But it's basically the first switch I changed for both of them, but seven.
We have access to the data banks of the device. Very efficient work. From the data we have received so far, we will be able to pinpoint the exact transmission coordinates. However, it is possible that doing so may alert whomever is on the other end that we have reverse-engineered their technology. There are 3 likely ways to get at the information. I suggest further analysis to determine the best course of action.
Okay. So you have root access to the device now. All that is left to determine via the device's memory core where the transmission may have been sent. Hopefully you'll be doing it without alerting the parties on the other end, so we can attempt to brute force an encrypted query and a multi-vectoral or analyse ramifications of each possible query. Taking time to probe the defences of the device, you determine that you would attempt brute force intrusion. Security protocols will likely trip some sort of alert to whoever's on the other end of the device. If you were to attempt an encrypting query, you'll have better than an average chance of getting information about setting up all the alarms. Finally, a multi-vectored query would most likely alert the recipients to your actions here today. So the best way is to do an encrypted one. Using higher level encryption, you delve into the database. This seems to be done the trick. No unusual activity is detected in your location in real space, where you can enter the subspace near the transmission location, the now Shadan system. Now you have the location of the transmission destination point, you should speak with Admiral Tuvok. Turbo lift. Admiral.
Fascinating. Excellent work. With this location, we may be able to finally reveal who gave the Vaadwaur their advanced technology, and why the neuroparasites appeared again in this time and place. Commander Jirok of the Romulan Republic has requested to join you on this operation. Her own analysis of the device has shown that the Romulans have had some contact with the creators of this device, a race known as the Ilachi. She will meet you in subspace at the given coordinates. Finally, Voyager's emergency medical hologram, the Doctor, will be assigned to your crew. His knowledge of the Delta Quadrant races may prove invaluable. He's not much of a combatant, but should prove useful.
Understood, Admiral.
Hello again.
I look forward to our mission together, Admiral. Okay. I am ready to beam up. Yes, so yeah, I enjoy these. I'm enjoying these missions. I'll do them all again. The Discovery guy, who will be a science officer. Not sure if she will be human or Vulcan. If I'm going down the evil route, which I do plan on going down the evil route, Vulcan wouldn't be right. So we've successfully transitioned to subspace. The RRW Lisette should be arriving at any moment. Looks like Gaul's communications were going to an Ilachi outpost station. It's still active, sir, and I'm picking up several Ilachi ships in the area. Go to Yellow Alert and keep an eye out for those. Keep an eye on those Ilachi ships.
Greetings. This is Commander Jirok of the RRW Lisette. When we learned that the Ilachi were involved, I requested to shadow you on this mission. I know your experience with the Ilachi is limited. The Romulan Republic, however, has an extensive history with this race.
Who exactly are the Ilachi?
The Tal Shiar used Ilachi to help invade Varanat, a colony made up of Romulan refugees seeking to make a new life for themselves. The two factions worked together to convince Romulan colonies to join the Tal Shiar. It was in spite of this that the Romulan Republic was forged. We fought off the Tal Shiar and eventually made a stand against the Ilachi at New Romulus. Many Romulans gave their lives in defense of our new homeworld. But that final defense seemed to quiet Ilachi attacks for quite some time, barring the occasional incursion from subspace.
Understood. Well, I was there, I believe. I was there. I think I defended the Romulans.
Alright, we'll follow your lead here. We're seeing 3 patrol groups. Recommend we eliminate them before we board the station.
Agreed. I don't know what happened there.
Another Alachi ship is here to defend the outpost.
Normally they're supposed to self-destruct. I don't quite understand why I didn't do that. Anyway. We're ready to transport to the station as soon as you're ready, sir. Let's be to the station. So, I'll need only 3 of the, because, Julian Bashir is a hologram, so he doesn't need to breathe. That's the reason why I started it up with the no, I've done this mission so many times. At that point, you're pretending I don't know what's going on. Yeah, but the Julian doesn't need the hologram Julian doesn't need a breathing device, but everyone else does. That's what I'm getting at. One day though, they're going to be making the EV suit its own piece of costume, which would be nice. So let's speak with the OA team. We arrived in the outpost station, sir, and the doctor has offered to accompany the OA team to offer his extensive knowledge of the Delta Quadrant. In addition, Commander Jarak is taking an away team from the Lassette to the other part of the facility. She wants to speak to you before we begin. Commander Jarak.
I was thinking we should split up and cover as much of the facility as we can, unless you have a better idea.
Doctor, what's your take on the situation?
This is obviously an Alachi facility. What I know about them comes from the Romulan Republic's databases, but I should be able to learn more as we examine this location. The air here is suitable for the Alachi, which means that you may find breathing difficult. I, of course, do not have that problem. If you have an environmental suit, or even some sort of rebreather, you will be fine. If you don't, keep an eye out for something that could help filter out the toxins.
Okay. Now, of course, they don't give you EV suits. At least I don't think they do. Yeah, I think you have to go in there to get to a they'll give you a breathing apparatus there, so you have to suffer through that. So
These
now
are Solanae tables. I've read the Enterprise D's reports about them.
So Scavin needs one. Tamet needs one. And 2 of 5 needs one. Of course, I need one, which will of course disrupt my right. So then we come over here.
Good. You found a breathing apparatus. That should take care of that nasty cough. Gateway on New Romulus. The Solanae kidnap victims through subspace for their brutal experiments. If they are somehow connected to the Alachi and the Vaadwaur, this is beginning to make more sense.
If I had to guess, there must be a stasis room nearby. We should find it and rescue anyone in there who can still be saved.
Now the Alachi, they're not very nice.
It looks as if they are converting their captives into more Alachi. If my readings are correct, there are several individuals here who have only just begun the conversion process. We can save them if we beam them back to your ship.
They were doing that on, if you remember, on the mission and the bonus, on the basically the bonus mission to the Planet of Galactic Peace. They were converting people in the secret facility for the basically for helping out the Tal Shiar.
Transport this Talaxian directly to sickbay. We're transporting you to a Romulan ship in orbit. You're going to be fine. Ah, a Hazard. Stay calm. We'll get you the medical attention you need. This is no way for a proud Klingon warrior to go out. We'll patch him up immediately.
Well, actually, you want to commit suicide. That's the Klingon way.
Everything will be fine, Mr. Ture. We'll beam you directly to sickbay. A Kazon? Even the Borg won't assimilate a Kazon. You'll be back on duty before you know it. One to beam up. Well, the Solanae are definitely involved. I believe I have everything I need from this area. We need to keep moving if we hope to meet up with Commander Jirok. The door is unlocked now. We should keep going.
Yeah, the Alachi, they're not very nice. They're a horrible, horrible race. But we'll cover them when we do the when we do my Romulan character.
odd. You sound like you're in a Solaning lab, but we're in some place that looks like a prison. In fact, I'd say that's exactly what it is. And they've just had a breakout. Whoever it was, they used our arrival as the distraction they needed to make their move. I'll keep looking for more information, but I hope the escapees are friendly.
Be careful, Commander.
A prison break? Maybe I should go back to the ship. Neural parasites. This must be where the Vaadwaur were implanted with those mind-controlling bugs. Neural parasites. Just as I suspected. Did you know that several Starfleet officers were infected by these in the mid-2360s? The Enterprise logs from that era are fascinating reading if you ever have a few dozen hours to spare.
I'll take a look at them later, Doctor. Continue, please.
If Gaul and the infected Vaadwaur were communicating with this station, it stands to reason that this may be the facility where the bluegill implantation takes place. We should definitely investigate further. If we can find the implantation room, then I should be able to analyze their equipment and gather more information. Believe it. The empirical evidence is right in front of me, but I'm actually having difficulty processing this information.
What is it?
This tech, this whole facility, it's Iconian. There are variations on the norm, of course, because of the Solanae and Elachi influence, but I see distinct signs of their presence throughout the facility.
Iconians here, too?
The Iconians, as we know them, rarely reveal themselves. The only known interaction with an Iconian in modern history took place on Kronos, when... Wait, you were there! I don't need to explain that situation again.
Yeah, I know I was there.
As I was saying, the Iconians don't like to act directly. They use servitor races, like the Elachi and the Solanae, to cause chaos in their name. And the neural parasites, they've bioengineered. Rather like the founders created the Jem'Hadar, but sophisticated enough to control another species, and with much less free will. The parasites are a weapon.
What about the Vaadwaur? They are active before the Iconians revealed themselves.
When Voyager revived the Vaadwaur, their technology was outdated compared to what other powers in the Delta Quadrant had at that time. Even the Kazon outdid them. But now, Vaadwaur technology is cutting edge. The only way they could have advanced so far, so fast, was by allying themselves with someone else. With the Iconians. The Vaadwaur got their tech upgrades from them, but they also got the neural parasites. The parasites gave the Vaadwaur power, but they gave the Iconians control. They were ultimately the ones pulling the strings. This entire war has been against an enemy we didn't even see.
That's information we needed to find. Let's meet up with Colonel Tuvok and get off this station. So, Vaadwaur were given the neuroparasites by these jackasses. Come on, fight me. He was supposed to have said that after we've gone in here, of course.
This is more like a factory than a laboratory.
Sir, I've taken some readings from these Alachi. They're showing some of the same energy signatures as the parasite enhanced Vaadwaur, but they're fluctuating. The Alachi are phasing in and out and their invulnerability. We can beat them at the right moment. Yeah, we'll have to worry about that in a minute. Hopefully they don't come walking down here.
Some of this technology is ancient, but it's quite advanced. These parasites aren't a natural species at all. They look engineered.
See, that's when he goes in. That's when he's supposed to get his conclusion and say, "Ah, it's the Iconians." I don't understand why he fired off early, but I guess the Doctor wants to rush this. Understood. We're ready for them.
Maybe we should avoid any potential contact with the prisoner? I think I've seen enough combat for today.
Shut up. I'm your superior.
How fortuitous. I thought I'd have to find a way off this station alone.
You.
More Alachi. I don't think the Iconians want me to leave. Their tenacity is almost admirable.
Looks like you could use a hand.
And now we have their leader's attention.
Whoa.
I should kill you where you stand. Justice for all the lives you've destroyed.
Calm down, Tuvok.
And if you do, you'll never learn about the Iconians. I've been here for months. I've seen enough to know you need my help.
That could be very valuable information, Commander Tuvok.
Fine, you interrogate her. I might get a little carried away. But she returns with me to the Lisette when you're finished here. Sela is a prisoner of the Romulan Republic. The government can go through official channels if they want to talk to her.
Agreed, you can take custody of her once we've done.
You and this Sela person seem to have some history. I'll leave you to speak to her.
Not so fast. You have the weapons, but I have the information. If you want to learn what I know, you'll need to keep those Romulan rebels under control. You've stumbled into something much greater than you're prepared to handle. I'm the best ally you have.
Talk, then I'll decide as to what happens to you.
I assume you already know where you are. Both the Alachi and the Solanae serve the Iconians. The Alachi are their warriors, and the Solanae are their scientists. They're the ones who created those creatures implanted into the Vaadwaur.
The neuroparasites. Why did the Iconians use them here, but not on the Tal Shiar?
Hakiv joined the Iconians out of faith. He thought the Iconians would create an empire he could rule. That did not go as planned. This time the Iconians wanted to control their puppets. When the Vaadwaur asked for strength to defeat their enemies, the Iconians gave them the parasites. The Vaadwaur had strength, but also strings. Strings that have now been cut. I'm sure you had something to do with that.
Yes, alongside an alliance of the Roman Republic and the Klingon Empire.
All three of you working together? The world has changed in my absence. Or were the Vaadwaur that much of a threat to the Alpha Quadrant?
Actually, we're in the Delta Quadrant now.
That explains some things. I'd love an escort back to the world at large, but I have a feeling you have some questions first.
I do have some questions.
I'll answer what I can. You can believe what you want.
What's your relationship with the Iconians? Were you their prisoner or their ally?
How important is that, really? I worked with the Iconians because, at the time, I thought it was the best thing for my people. After we lost the homeworld, we were scattered, starving. A shadow of what we once were. What were we supposed to do? Beg the Federation? Or the Klingons for scraps? Pathetic. The so-called Romulan Republic has made their way, but they did it at the cost of Romulan dignity.
Is dignity more important than survival? I'm trying to remember what the rule of acquisition is, but dignity in the sack is worth the sack, I think.
We are not refugees. We are Romulan. We needed a strong leader to bind us together again, and I knew I could be that leader. The Iconians were a means to an end. They gave us strength at a time when we were at our weakest. Had I known what Hakiv, what he and the Iconians did to our world, perhaps I would not have made the same decision.
The Republic is thriving. You're in prison. Who made the better choice? We're not refugees. Yeah, well, so that's the people who wrote Picard. Because in 2399, you bloody are.
Dwelling on the past is meaningless. I am here, and so are you. Today, our goals are aligned. We both want to stop the Iconian advance. You need me.
Fine. I have another thing I want to talk about.
I'll answer what I can. You can believe what you want.
Do the Iconians have weaknesses? Something we could exploit to help us defeat them?
Hubris. The Iconians think they are the rulers of the galaxy. They thought so 200,000 years ago, when they were driven off their homeworld by the fire of 1,000 races allied against them. They think so now, when they look at us and see us as children stumbling in the dark. They do not see our strength, our willingness to fight. Use their hubris against them, and the Iconians will fall.
Don't I have another thing I want to talk to you about.
I'll answer what I can. You can believe what you want.
What is the Iconian master plan?
I honestly don't know. Why would they share their plans with a prisoner? That may make me less valuable in your eyes, but don't be fooled. I know more about the Iconians' operations than they realize.
Perhaps there's a different question.
I'll answer what I can. You can believe what you want.
Where is the rest of your crew?
Ah, the crew. The Alachi took them one by one and turned them into those things. Revolting. If I had known that was what they were doing with the captives from the colonies, I would have...
Now he's dwelling on the past.
Yes, you were asking about the crew. A handful of us were still alive when the station went on alert. We took a chance and made our escape. They died, nobly, as Romulans protecting their Empress. I will remember their sacrifice.
I think we're done here. Time to return to our ship.
Will I be taken into your custody? Or will I be left to Tiara's tender mercies?
We have an agreement. We have agreed in Spirit Corporation. Commander Jaruk will take custody. She's under the strict orders to deliver you directly to Alliance Command. You will not be harmed.
Very well. It's not like I have a choice in the matter, do I?
Lisette, one to beam up. We finished here, Captain. Celia is safely in the brig of the Lisette, although I think there will be a lot more negotiations between the Republic and Federation before we know what will happen to her. Until then, we should report the findings around Tuvok and the Alliance Command. Yes, so I'm unknowing what ship I'm going to use. I was going to use a battle cruiser, but I've flown it and it takes away too much of my tactical stuff. And the way my ship's built, this ship's built, I need a lot of the stuff that I got on this ship, so I'm going to go for a temporal warship, which you'll see in 2 episodes.
We have Empress Sela in our brig. When she was taken by the Iconians last year, many of my people thought she would get away with her heinous crimes against the galaxy. With her in my brig, I am happy to know that is no longer a possibility. Of course, I understand that the Romulan Republic's claim on her is not unique. Her crimes are against all of the Alpha Quadrant. To that end, I will ensure that she be made available to all the Alliance leaders for interrogation and debriefing.
Well, that wasn't exactly what I'd call a walk in the park. At least we know exactly how the Iconians were controlling the Vaadwaur. And you've certainly put a crimp in their plans. On the upside, as a photonic life form, I'm immune to any attempts at subversion by neural parasites. I'll see to the care of the captives we rescued. In the meantime, it sounds like you and the Romulan Republic Command have a lot to talk about. Sela certainly has a story to tell. But should we believe all of it? I'll put a bug in Admiral Janeway's ear about the situation. That was a joke, by the way. You're going to be busy. Don't overdo... Oh, who am I kidding? Command officers never take their doctor's advice. Just remember that you're not in this alone. Good luck. I suspect things are starting to get interesting.
Sir, the fleet has sent intelligence ships to comb the outpost for more information on your Iconian involvement. We're cleared to return to normal space at your command. Hell Command. Let's see what they have to say, and then I think we have one more mission left in the Delta Quadrant, and then we start the Iconian War. Sela and the Iconians. That I did not expect. There's a lot to take in, Admiral, and while I'm sure the former Empress has some interesting stories to tell, I know the Romulan Republic will want her to answer for her crimes against her people. There will be some tricky back-channel negotiations before all this shakes out. I'll keep you posted as much as I can.
Hello. Would you have time to look into something?
Okay. So, before we get interrupted with the last of the missions, which is dust to dust. We get annoyed by Harry Winch. I'll probably change the ship. I'm still, I mean, I'm whether to just use it for the Iconian War.
We have a
arc.
situation on Kabbalah Prime.
So I'll keep this ship while we're in Del Quadrant and change ships for the next part. So thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe, comments are welcome. Also appreciate any thumbs up on the Big B82. And this is part 69 over and done with. I shall see you in part 70. Dust to dust. Ciao for now.